A warm welcome to all our viewers. I'm your host Pratiksha Mishra and you're watching another episode of South Asia Focus. Let's begin the show. As the world rides the AI revolution, India is stepping up to shape its future. In New Delhi, global leaders, policymakers, tech giants, and young innovators gathered to decode what's next for artificial intelligence. From responsible AI and digital infrastructure to startups and skilling, the summit spotlighted India's bold vision, innovative, inclusive, and ready to lead the global tech game.
Artificial intelligence is no longer just about the future. It is already part of our daily lives. From industry and education to healthcare and research, AI is transforming the world, and India is ready to lead this change. The recently held AI India Summit 2026 in New Delhi brought together global leaders, policy makers, tech experts, and innovators to shape a responsible and inclusive AI roadmap. The focus was on ethical AI, stronger digital infrastructure, startup innovation, youth skilling, and positioning India as a global tech powerhouse. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the summit, highlighting India's strong ambition to play a leading role in the global AI revolution.
AI के बारे में देश भर में जानकारी मिले और विशेषकर हमारे किसानों को, MSMEs को, हमारे ग्रामीण क्षेत्रों में रहने वाले नागरिकों को, इसके लिए भारत ने जो सॉवरेन मॉडल्स में काम किया है, इसमें बहुत बड़ा फोकस रखा है मल्टीलिंगुअल मॉडल्स पे। भारत की जो भाषाएं हैं और विशेषकर जो बोलियां हैं, उन बोलियों में भी बहुत अच्छे से AI का प्रसारण हो सके, AI के बारे में जानकारी मिल सके और AI का उपयोग करके उन बोलियों में भी सॉल्यूशंस क्रिएट किए जा सके। वो एक बहुत बड़ा फोकस रखा है AI मिशन का।
Indian startups and top global tech companies turned the AI Summit into a live tech playground, showcasing how artificial intelligence is transforming everyday life. From AI-powered health diagnostics and smart farming solutions to generative AI tools and next-gen cybersecurity systems, innovators presented real-world tech that makes life faster, smarter, and more connected. The summit highlighted India's booming startup ecosystem, strong digital public infrastructure, and a new generation of skilled tech talent, positioning the country as a rising global hub for AI innovation and collaboration in the digital age.
सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि AI जो है वो यहाँ पे रहने वाला है और आगे बढ़ने वाला है, इसलिए सबको जरूरत है कि वो AI के साथ मिलकर जैसे काम को कर सकते हैं और अपनी क्षमता बढ़ा सकते हैं, उसके ऊपर फोकस करना चाहिए और उसी को लेकर अपने को रिस्किल करके आगे बढ़ना चाहिए।
With over 20 heads of state, including French President Emmanuel Macron and President of Brazil, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, along with 60 ministers and 500 global AI leaders, the AI Impact Summit 2026 transformed New Delhi into the world's AI capital. Global leaders explored collaborations with India through joint research, startup investments, technology transfer, and the co-development of AI infrastructure. Partnerships in skilling, data governance, and public-private innovation unlocked significant global capital, accelerating India's emergence as a next-generation AI hub.
In a few moments, an AI-generated work will be projected into the gateway of India as part of a production by the Grand Palais Immersif, a leading French institution in digital content and innovative immersive experiences. And this is just one of the many examples of AI's potential, a potential that France and India are determined to explore, but not without safeguards, not without carefully considering its consequences, to respect artists, to respect our children and teenagers, and to protect our democracies.
India expects to attract more than $200 billion in investments in artificial intelligence over the next 2 years, reflecting strong global confidence in its fast-growing digital economy. These investments are likely to flow into AI research and development, data centers, semiconductor manufacturing, startups, and advanced digital infrastructure. With a vast talent pool, expanding digital public infrastructure, and strong government push, India is positioning itself as a major global hub for AI innovation and long-term technology growth.
India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi has stepped up India's AI game, calling it a game changer for growth and governance. Stressing ethical innovation, strong digital infrastructure, and youth skilling, he pushed for global collaboration to make AI inclusive and impactful. Here are the key highlights from PM Modi's bold vision for India's AI-powered future at the ongoing summit.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has outlined an ambitious and human-centric roadmap for India's AI future, declaring that the country should emerge among the world's top 3 AI superpowers by 2047. In an interview to ANI during the India AI Impact Summit 2026, the Prime Minister emphasized that artificial intelligence must serve humanity under the guiding philosophy of Sarvajan Hitai, Sarvajan Sukhai, welfare and happiness for all. From inclusive datasets and rural empowerment to AI safety, skilling and digital public infrastructure, PM Modi presented a comprehensive vision where technology accelerates development while remaining deeply rooted in Indian values. According to him, AI should ensure inclusive welfare and equitable outcomes for every citizen. He has set an ambitious target, positioning India among the world's top 3 AI superpowers by 2047, not just as a consumer of technology, but as a global creator and innovator. AI, he says, will play a crucial role in achieving the vision of Viksit Bharat 2047, bridging the urban-rural divide, expanding economic opportunities, and driving inclusive national growth. In healthcare, AI-powered tools are already helping with early detection of diseases such as tuberculosis, diabetic retinopathy, and epilepsy at primary health centers, improving access to timely treatment. In education, personalized learning platforms in Indian languages are supporting students in rural and government schools, making quality education more accessible. AI is empowering women at the grassroots level. Nearly 36 lakh women dairy farmers are receiving real-time guidance on cattle health and productivity through AI-driven tools. For farmers, AI-powered crop advisory systems, soil analytics, and weather intelligence are enabling smarter and more localized agricultural decisions. Addressing concerns around fairness, India is working on inclusive datasets and regional language AI models to reduce gender, linguistic, and social economic bias in AI systems. India's strong digital public infrastructure, including Aadhaar and UPI, is being integrated with AI to enhance governance, welfare delivery, and public service efficiency at scale. And finally, through the India AI Mission, the AI Safety Institute, Centers of Excellence, and large-scale skilling initiatives, the government is building a secure, innovative, and self-reliant AI ecosystem for the future. In essence, Narendra Modi has positioned AI as a transformative force for inclusive growth, ethical innovation, and national self-reliance, envisioning India not just as a participant, but as a global leader in the AI revolution by 2047.
Bangladesh has entered a new political chapter. Tariq Rahman has taken oath as Prime Minister, marking the return of the Bangladesh Nationalist Party to power after nearly 2 decades. But the transition follows a year of upheaval, a contested election, and deep political polarization. As Dhaka recalibrates its domestic priorities, regional powers are closely watching the implications for South Asia's strategic balance.
Tariq Rahman took oath at an open-air ceremony at the South Plaza of the Jatiya Sangsad Bhavan in Dhaka, departing from the long-standing tradition of hosting the event at the Banga Bhavan. President Mohammad Shahabuddin administered the oath in the presence of senior political leaders, diplomats, civil and military officials, and representatives from several countries, including India, China, and Pakistan. India sent a prominent delegation for the ceremony. Among those present was Indian Parliament Speaker Om Birla, signaling New Delhi's intent to maintain high-level political engagement with the new administration in Dhaka. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated Tariq Rahman on his victory, expressing confidence that bilateral cooperation in trade, connectivity, energy, and regional security would continue to deepen under the new government. The ceremony was held amid tight security as thousands of BNP supporters gathered across the capital to celebrate the party's return to power after 20 years.
We are about to bring our journey in a situation marked by a fragile economy, left behind by the authoritarian regime, weakened constitution, and statutory institution, and a deterring law and order situation.
Rahman assumes office after a turbulent political period in Bangladesh. In 2024, a Gen Z-led mass uprising forced Sheikh Hasina to step down, ending years of Awami League rule. An interim administration headed by Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus was formed to oversee the transition and conduct fresh elections. The Bangladesh Nationalist Party secured a two-thirds majority in the February 12 polls, while the Awami League was barred from contesting after its registration was revoked by the Election Commission. However, Sheikh Hasina has formally challenged the legitimacy of the election, calling it a disgraceful chapter in Bangladesh's democratic history. In a detailed statement, she alleged widespread administrative manipulation and numerical fraud. Despite these allegations, election authorities have maintained that the voting process was conducted under constitutional provisions.
Our overall assessment, this is the historic and landmark elections in Bangladesh. Elections was the peaceful, comparatively peaceful and orderly, and also in certain extent it's inclusive and credible.
Tariq Rahman's swearing-in marks the return of the Bangladesh Nationalist Party to power after nearly 20 years and signals a decisive shift in the country's political alignment. Yet, the transition unfolds against a backdrop of contestation and deep political polarization. The government's immediate task will be to stabilize institutions, revive economic momentum, and reinforce democratic credibility. With a strong mandate in parliament and heightened scrutiny, both domestically and internationally, the new administration now carries the responsibility of steering Bangladesh towards stability, growth, and institutional consolidation in a post-uprising era. A new government in Dhaka, a divided political climate, and high expectations from citizens. The direction taken in the coming months will shape Bangladesh's political and economic trajectory for years to come.
Time now for Asia This Week, the stories from across the continent.
US Vice President J.D. Vance said talks between the United States and Iran went fairly well, as both sides agreed to meet again. Speaking to Fox News, he said, the US wants a solution that stops Iran from getting nuclear weapons. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said, there is some understanding on key principles, but no deal is close yet. The talks in Geneva were indirect and involved US envoy Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner, and were mediated by Oman. Oman's Minister Badr al-Busaidi said progress was made, but more work remains. Iran insists talks stay limited to nuclear issues and sanctions relief, rejecting missile discussions. A steel factory in Basra, ARG Steel, is recycling scrap metal to help meet Iraq's growing need for steel. The factory uses old military vehicle parts and civilian scrap, melts them in furnaces, and turns the metal into steel bars used in construction. Scrap collectors across Iraq supply the factory, but it receives only half of the scrap it needs daily due to high demand from other steel plants. Despite this, ARG Steel produces up to 600,000 tons of recycled steel each year. Recycling has reduced Iraq's reliance on imported steel, though imports are still needed. According to Middle East Economic Digest, Iraq's construction sector is growing fast due to major government infrastructure and housing projects.
Pakistan's internal security crisis is deepening at an alarming pace. Twin terror attacks in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa have once again exposed the state's fragile grip over its restive northwest. As fatalities surge and militant groups expand their footprint, questions are resurfacing about decades of proxy policies that many argue have backfired. The fallout is no longer contained. It carries serious implications for regional stability in South Asia.
Northwest Pakistan witnessed yet another deadly spiral of violence on Monday. In Bajaur district of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, terrorists launched a coordinated assault, triggering a gun battle with security forces. According to the Pakistani military, 1 child and 11 security personnel were killed. 7 others, including women and children, were injured. In a separate attack in Bannu, a bomb planted inside a rickshaw exploded near the Mirian police station, killing 2 civilians and wounding at least 17 more. The twin attacks left more than 25 injured overall, exposing persistent security vulnerabilities in a province already on edge. Tensions in Bajaur have simmered since August 2025 when Pakistani forces launched what they described as a targeted operation against terrorists. The offensive displaced tens of thousands of residents who later returned home. Yet, intelligence-based operations have continued, underscoring that the state has failed to fully regain control.
Which is a static target. It was attacked by a suicide bomber, but the number of casualties is actually very, very high. For 11 servicemen to die in one particular attack is something big. But then I think this will be the norm in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, given the current tensions between Pakistan and Afghanistan. This is something that Pakistan has sown for itself, and it is now reaping the consequences.
Khyber Pakhtunkhwa has emerged as the epicenter of Pakistan's internal conflict. According to the Center for Research and Security Studies Annual Security Report 2025, fatalities in the province rose dramatically from 1,620 in 2024 to 2,331 in 2025. That marks an increase of 711 deaths, accounting for over 82% of the nationwide surge in violence and nearly a 44% year-on-year rise. Earlier this month, the so-called Islamic State claimed responsibility for a suicide blast at a Shiite mosque in Islamabad, killing at least 31 people and injuring 169 more. The attack shattered Pakistan's narrative of improving internal security. For years, Islamabad has accused Kabul of harboring militants, a charge the Afghan Taliban denies. But critics argue that Pakistan's decades-long policy of nurturing extremist proxies has created the very Frankenstein's monster it now confronts.
In this entire province, everybody knows everybody. Some time ago, your enemy was your ally. You shared intelligence. In fact, your enemy is all over the ground. That is the local Taliban. They are all over the ground. They have information. This is an area where the writ of the Pakistani state has never run fully. The writ of the Pakistani military runs intermittently, mostly by intimidation, mostly by cajoling and by bribery. Those relationships have broken down. Given the breakdown of those particular relationships, everybody is a target, and since everybody is a target, for an attack of this kind to happen without Pakistani intelligence getting any hint of it is not surprising at all.
Pakistan now finds itself battling insurgencies in both its northern and southern provinces. What was once framed as strategic depth in Afghanistan has turned into strategic chaos at home. For the wider South Asian region, the implications are alarming. A destabilized Pakistan, armed with nuclear weapons and plagued by militant networks, poses risks far beyond its borders. As violence mounts, the fundamental question remains: can Islamabad dismantle the extremist infrastructure it once cultivated, or will the cycle of proxy warfare continue to consume the state itself?
India has been a land of spirituality since ancient times. Today, religious tourism is one of its fastest growing sectors, drawing millions of devotees from across the world and strengthening local economies. Among the prominent destinations is Tamil Nadu's historic city of Kanchipuram, where it is believed that darshan or a sacred viewing alone can lead to salvation. Let us journey to this timeless city of faith.
Kanchipuram, often called the Golden City of Thousand Temples, is a sacred landscape where spirituality, stone, and history come together seamlessly. Home to magnificent temples, the city reflects centuries of devotion, artistic brilliance, and royal patronage, making it one of India's most revered centers of faith and classical temple architecture.
We traveling through India now. We have a short time, actually only 1 month. India is very big, and we need more time, of course, to visit more places. And we visit different places, and Vishnu temples and Shiva temple, other temples also. And we came to ashram. And I can say about this Vishnu temple that it's really ancient place with special vibration. It's really special.
Once a capital or prominent center under the Pallav, Chol, Vijayanagar and Nayak dynasties, Kanchipuram thrived under generous royal patronage that transformed temple architecture into enduring masterpieces of art and devotion. Counted among Hinduism's 7 sacred cities, it is uniquely blessed by the harmonious coexistence of Shaivat and Vaishvanit traditions, where Shiva and Vishnu are worshipped side by side, creating a rare spiritual balance that continues to draw countless devotees, scholars, and seekers from across the world.
The city is a very old city, and it is known as the city of 1000 temples. There are a lot of temples around every nook and corner of the city, and the people are also very welcoming, and this place is so endearing.
The ancient temples of Kanchipuram, be it the Ekambareswarar temple or the Varadaraj Perumal temple, are not merely places of worship, but living chronicles of India's rich art, culture, and spiritual heritage. The intricately carved pillars within the temple's pillared halls draw special attention, each sculpture narrating a distinct story, legend, or emotion. Together, they transform these sacred spaces into vibrant galleries of stone, where devotion and craftsmanship come alive through timeless artistry.
Kanchipuram remains not just a city of temples but a timeless testament to India's enduring spiritual legacy and cultural brilliance. And with that, we come to the end of this week's episode. See you next week. Till then, goodbye and take care.